Hey there, everybody. My name's Rich Scraggs. I'm the district commissioner for the Northern Lights District. And today we wanted to give everybody a crack at the presentation we did last month at the roundtable. It's a quick and dirty review of myscouting.org from a unit's perspective. So even if you were at the roundtable and were able to see some of this, it gives you a chance to review it. If you weren't there, then it'll give you a chance to see some of the common questions that are asked as we go through this presentation. So I'm going to get us started here, share my screen up. So we are ready to go for this presentation. So again, myscouting.org, one of the things I'm going to say from the beginning here is most of what you're going to see is based on my own zip code and my own unit with PAC 3. Um, so just as to make you aware that that's what you're going to see. There are a couple other units in here as well, but the majority of it's going to be that. So if you start seeing things that seem like they're not local to you, it's because when I made this, I was able to use their screens. It'll make it a little bit easier, I think, in the long run, because it's going to present from their perspective, which would be your perspective. I have a little bit of a different screen set as a commissioner. So. Our objectives today, though, we'd love to give you an understanding, if you don't have one, of how to access this information. What is a lead? How do you get to it? What do you do to populate them? Again, understanding how to use online applications. I know many people don't like the online applications, they prefer the paper. I'm telling you, your life as a unit will be much easier if you do it. And we'll go through where to get those, how to make it happen, everything else. We're going to talk about discovering some enhancements that will specifically help your recruiting, um, especially as we go into the fall here. Many of you have activities and back to school nights set up. Things like QR codes could be essential to grab a parent. So we'll show you that. We're going to discuss the unit pin page in the organization manager and why that's important, that that stays up to date, which it is very important that you keep that up to date. And then we'll kind of touch on, we're not going to get too deep into it, where the training records are for your adult leadership. So you know, if you don't, how to access those. So what's a lead? You hear us talk about it a lot from a district level, commissioner level. Um, uh, a lead is just simply a parent that has decided they want to check out Scouts and they want to see if it's right fit for their child. So your your leads come in two ways. One way they can be put into the system is through beascout.org. That's the open public website for anybody looking into scouting. They go ahead and they fill out some basic information, which we'll go through in a minute, and that will generate a lead. The other way is you can actually submit your own lead to track them online yourself. And there is a good reason for it. I know many people like to keep their spreadsheets. I did the same, but I started keeping duplicates and basically copy pasting information, and I'll explain that here in a minute. One caveat to the session we're doing here. All of the information I'm about to show you is only available to your COR, your committee chair, and your unit leader. So if you are going to be assisting and you are not in those roles, you're going to need to work with somebody to be able to have access to it. But those are the only people that have access to see, track, and work the new leads in the system itself. All right, so beascout.org. This is where many parents start. They go do a Google search online and they're interested in scouting and they want to know, okay, where do I get the information from? How do I find a unit? So they're going to come in on the screen on the left and they're just going to type in their zip code. So in this instance, I'm using 08742, which is Point Pleasant. And I'm going to select Cub Scouts because that's, let's say, the age I'm looking for. You can see all the programs are represented, all the ages are there. They click Find a Unit. When they do that, it generates the screen that you see on the right side. You can see 18 units were found. PAC 3, which is my unit, is the closest. It's 0.2 miles away. Pack 6 would be next. It keeps right on going from that. You can click different things if you change your mind and realize, oh, I forgot to, I've got an older scout that might be interested or what have you. So every unit's in here for the most part. But you can see in the instance of Pack 3, which is the one we're going to use mostly today, um, shows Pack 3. Andrea Morley is the contact for that. She's the committee chair. So she's the one who's got her information in there, a phone number, um, and her email address, a website for the unit itself. Um, it's for boys and girls. That's going to be all packs. The troops are a little different, obviously. And then they will take online applications. And then there's a quick blurb about everything there. If a parent wants to request more information, they click this button, and I'll show you where that goes in just a second. And if they decide right away they've already heard enough, they've talked to people that they know that are in the program, they just want the application, they can click apply now. It will generate a form immediately that goes to the online application for the particular unit and that unit alone. One thing of note, and when we get to the unit pin page, you'll see where this information goes. It does not need to be the committee chair. This can be a new member coordinator. It can be anybody you want it to be that can discuss the unit uh, for a prospective parent. So when they decide they want more information, they click that button, and this is the screen they come to. So they're going to indicate they're over 18, and then below that is where the youth information goes. You'll get a first name, last name, the age, the grade that they're going into. If they have a second child or a sibling, they can click that add another youth button. It'll generate up another form just like this one. And they can do that as many times as they need to for as many children as they have. Not pictured, you can start to see it way down on the bottom there is the parent guardian information. They'll fill out their information and they'll hit enter. That generates a lead for your unit. So where do we find this lead for your unit? Well, first thing is you got to log into myscouting.org. So this is my login screen. I'm already in here. Bear in mind, as a commissioner, I have a little bit of a different view here, but it should look almost identical to this. You're going to go up to this menu button in the upper left corner, and you'll click the three lines up there. It's going to give you a pull down menu. As you do the pull down menu, you're going to come all the way to the bottom, and it will list your units for you. You can see I have a little bit of a different look because of my position, so ignore that. But find your units. In this instance, we're looking for Pack 3. We're going to click Pack 3, and it's going to give you a second pull-down menu. This is what we're going to be talking about today. So you have the application manager, the invitation manager, the organization manager, a roster, and then a bunch of reports. So the application manager is where you're going to go. And we'll get into this in a little bit on how to process through an online application. The invitation manager is where we're about to go to. That's going to be all your leads that get generated. The organization manager has a whole bunch of different functions. Charter renewal is one of them. The other big one in there that we're going to talk about today is your unit pin page, but there's other things in there as well that we'll touch on briefly. You can generate a roster off this screen of your entire unit. And the last three are all your training reports. Remember, I said we're not going to get too deep into this, but this is where you would go for your training reports, your youth protection, and this may have changed already on the bottom because I made this quite a while ago, but that may be SYT training with the new change that's happened. But right now we're going to go into Invitation Manager. That's going to be where the leads are that we were just talking about. So as we get into the Invitation Manager, you're going to notice it should have your unit in the upper left, a nice summary bar up top of how many leads are open, how many leads have been open. So your new leads, your open leads. Just quick stats here is all this is. If you prefer the picture, it's there. One box of note here on the upper half of the screen, and the screen is split. We're going to see the bottom of the screen here in just a minute. I couldn't get it all on one slide, but that new lead, that's where you are going to manually, if you so choose, put information in to manually enter a lead. You'll click the button. You're going to add the information that you have. It will save as a lead in the system. Again, Really an interesting way of doing this. I started doing this a few years ago, where all our leads that come to a back to school night or recruitment event, I keep a spreadsheet, and I also have uh, manually entered them into this new lead area. And it's so that they can access online applications, or we can, to send to them. It makes life way easier than trying to send links or do anything else. It's the easiest option. Takes about 30 seconds per scout. It's not anything too deep, but just an option for you. As we continue to the bottom half of the screen, you'll see there is a QR code here. Many of our younger scouts have younger parents that are tech savvy, and they want these QR codes. I know some of our leaders that have been around a while may not even really love these or don't even know what they are. It's a quick way. You can grab a cell phone. You can take a picture of this, and as you pull up your camera, it's going to give you the actual link to a page to send you to. That QR code is going to send you straight to the application for, in this instance, Pack 3. For your unit, it would go directly to your unit alone. It's the only application that's going there. So if they fill it out for, say, Pack 78, their QR code will be just slightly different, and that application goes into the system only for Pack 78. So this is geared directly towards you and your unit. You can download that QR code. This is great for material like a poster board, social media, a flyer that you may do. It's a great, easy way to have, especially our modern parents, get in touch with your unit. Um, the other option here also does the same exact thing. Is this is the actual URL code that you would type into a browser. You can copy that up. That's really helpful in like Instagram posts, Facebook posts, because it'll generate the actual tab that you can click on to go straight to your unit. Now, if you had any leads in the system, and in this instance, when I did this, Pack 3 didn't, because it was in the late spring and they didn't have any leads, it would be under here. So I'm going to show you in a minute from a district perspective what this looks like, so you know what it is. But this is where those leads would be, where you could actually click them. Again, this is a district view. This is not something anybody other than commissioners or district folks are going to have, but it will look almost identical to this when you go in there. So if you had Brian here as one of your leads, he would be here. It's going to show when it was submitted. So this was submitted 27 days ago. The invitation status. This will change as you work with the online lead. In this instance, it says sent. That means we have sent an application to the parent. The date that it was last modified, and obviously the unit should be your own on the right-hand side. Um, as we continue on, this is an example lead for you. This is one from Pack 78. Uh, it is, as you can see, I've redacted some of the information here, but this is set up with the parent's name, their phone number, and email, so you know how to get a hold of them. How did they find you? Or why did they find you? Why did they go looking? Many times you're going to see scouting.org, but it's not uncommon to see something in there that heard from friends and family of somebody in your unit. Tells you the date this was submitted. So this was May 30th. As I said, it's been a while since I did this, but it came in May 30th, and it was geared towards Pack 78. You will have this option here to respond to the lead. Um, that will automatically open up an email window for you. You can also, if that doesn't work for you because you may not have Outlook or wherever it's geared to, you can copy paste the email address up top. Keep in mind that many of our younger parents prefer texting over everything else, so don't be afraid to text that phone number up top. Generally, in most instances now, if that's exactly where it goes, is to a cell phone. It's not many landlines left. But don't be afraid to call them, don't be afraid to email them, and don't be afraid to text them, or some combination thereof. It may take all of them. It's going to take numerous touches usually to land a scout. On the right side here, probably one of the most important things that I'm going to tell you today is your notes in the system. This is, if you have more than one person working a lead, crucial for you to keep passing information along. So In this instance, Denise has opened this up and she has actually sent the application to the parent. That's important on numerous points because not only can you see these, but any of your commissioners, district commissioners, or district folks can see this. That way we know what's going on as far as recruitment status, membership committee, what's going on with the scout. There will come a point in time if you let a lead sit too long that it will queue up to be reassigned to a different unit. If there's comments in here and we know you're working with the unit, obviously we're not going to yank that scout away from you. We may follow up with you briefly to just say, hey, what's going on? But the more information you can put in here, such as hey, Johnny's coming to our September 15th meeting, great. Now we know Johnny's coming. Johnny's checking out a den meeting. Johnny, whatever. The more information you can put in here, better. Left a voicemail for the parent, reached out to the parent, set up a conference or whatever you want to do in there. But it keeps the dialogue moving and it keeps everybody tied in. All you have to do is type your note in, hit post, it goes in there. It will just be seen by your unit and any of the district folks that happen to peek at it. Nobody else. It's not going to be shown to everybody under the sun. All right, couple quick things here. These blue buttons down on the bottom where it says resend application, that is because Denise has already sent the application. Had she not sent the application, it would say send application. Click that button, it automatically will send an application to the email that's in the screen over here. So that way the parent will get an application right away. There is a link here that sends the SYT email out to the parent with a link of how to get trained in that if you so choose to have that done. Two other buttons to make you aware of here, the closed lead and the complete. If you complete an application for the scout has joined your unit, you're done with all the information and everything's completed, you go ahead, click the complete button. That's an indication to us that everything is done, the scout has joined, everybody's happy. The close lead button, you would use that, for instance, you talk to Johnny's parents, they decide, after the long conversation and a couple of weeks of talking with Johnny and you, scouting probably isn't going to be for them. You're pretty confident that you've followed up with this lead to the end of where it can go. They're not going to join scouts. Just click that close lead button. It clears it out of the system, clears it away from your eyes so you don't have to look at it anymore. It lets us know that, okay, you followed up indeed and everything is followed up on, but Johnny isn't going to be joining scouts. And that's okay. But again, it's for the transparency. So that's how you track your leads, that's how you see your leads, and that's how you get information from your leads. But as you go, I want to show you where online applications go and what those screens look like. I highly, highly, highly encourage you to take online applications. This will make the process for your unit way, way easier. In the last 5 or 6 years with PAC3, we haven't taken a single paper application at all. So if you have a new scout coming in, it's a great way to make your life easier. The other benefit of it is it also allows you to have them pay council and national dues right on the spot in that application. One further thing, just as a recruiting technique, don't be afraid to have a computer set up with these applications at a recruitment night. Have them fill it out right on the spot. If they want to join, you get them right then and there. It's the easiest way not to have track money. So, okay, Johnny's ready to join. We've sent the application. The parents filled it out. Now what? So, on the left side, you go to the application manager instead of the invitation manager. And you're going to see that the screen is almost identical. You're going to have the summary bar, the little pretty picture with the wheel of how you're doing. And then it will have any applications that you have underneath, just like the invitation manager would. It's going to be very, very similar. If you have an application waiting, you will get emailed as COR, committee chair, and the unit leader. Somebody has to come in and just accept the application. A word of caution here, if you have somebody who has an application in and you don't have a clue where they came from or who they are, I would highly advise not to click complete that application through until you've spoken with the parent. Sometimes people put in an application for the wrong unit and it's meant to go somewhere else, and it's way easier to undo that before you click that complete button than it is after the fact, because it can be reassigned in a couple clicks versus needing to actually do some paperwork down at council. So just word to the wise, if you don't know where this application came from and you've never heard of this kid, definitely reach out before you click complete. So if you had an application, they would be in that list like I showed you before. It would bring you to this screen if you click on their application. So here we have Brandon. He's going to be joining Scouts. He's a male. He's birthday. The grade he's in. And in this instance, this Scout, and it's a completed application we're looking at because we didn't have one in the system at the time to look at that was pending. But he'll run from March 1st to February 28th. Remember, and the troops don't have so much exposure to this today. They will in the future, but this is the renewal date for the Scout. The packs are starting to see a lot of this where everybody's renewing at different times. We're not all renewing December 31st. So this will be that membership term. Parents will get the email 60 days out, 30 days out. You'll get the same email saying, hey, you've got XYZ Scouts that need to be renewed. Your leaders need to be renewed. You do get those from time to time. Which unit this went into, Pack 3. And then, again, any notes you need on the right side, again, please use this function. Super helpful if things are pending. Not as critical here as it is in the leads, but you can use it. Whoops, went backwards. All right. So, and then if you want to review the application, 3 sections here. First section's the youth. Second section's going to be the parent information. Third section's their payment. This is no different than what you would see on a paper application. It's a way to look at it. You can download it for your records, for your unit if you need to, in a PDF form. Again, when you're ready and happy with it, you'll click a button that will be available to you that says complete. This one obviously is already completed, but you can actually accept that application. From that point, it takes approximately 24 hours to have everything go through, and you'll see them at that 24-hour mark in myscouting.org for your unit on the roster, as well as they should generate into Scoutbook. That's how you take an online application. Way easier than paper, automatically is done. They've paid every bit of the dues with the exception of your unit dues. That is something you will have to follow back up on. But it's a lot easier to follow back up on that than trying to collect the couple $100 for everything else. And like I said, they can charge it right on here versus maybe needing a check for you. Again, your option, what you want to do here. I highly, highly recommend doing this. The units that do it love it. It eliminates all the paper, somebody having to drive down to council. All of that goes away. You can take it online. So that's the application process, the leads from beginning to end. That's what it would look like if you took online applications. You get the lead online, you follow up, they come to a meeting, they do whatever, they fill out an online application, you accept it, they're in the unit. That's how it works. A couple other things in here today we wanted to talk about. One of them is the organization manager, specifically the unit pin page, which we're going to get to. It's going to show on that organization manager your unit here, any of the settings that you might need. It's going to have like the key 3 information here. You can download your charter certificate. There's a bunch of things in here. Feel free to look around. You're certainly allowed to do so. Many of you are familiar with the unit renewal box here from renewing your units. The unit pin page is where we really want to go here, and we're going to talk about some unit dashboard and metric information. Again, feel free to look around, and then roster position information, various reports. So feel free to poke around. Again, this is only available to those key 3 that we were discussing before. But as far as the unit pin page goes, this is the unit pin page. Once you click it, you can see in the left side of this, it's asking for unit information. We have gone ahead as a council and made every unit allowed to update this information. So that box is toggled so you can change this information. We don't want to control it. We want you to have control of this. The first toggle box here is to appear on beascout.org. If that is not checked, I encourage you to check it. It's the only way that the parents are going to see you from a public search of beascout.org. Otherwise, they won't even know your unit is there. So crazy to have that box unchecked. You want it checked. The next box down is whether you're going to take online applications. Again, I highly, highly, highly encourage you to do this. It will, I promise you, make your life easier. The contact information, again, this is Andrea from what we saw at the beginning, her phone number and her email address. You can have anybody in here. My 10 cents of information for you or my advice, whoever's going to be here, have them be passionate about this program. Make sure they understand every element of this program. You don't want the new parent that's been around a month trying to explain to somebody how the program works. This is a great position, and many times you see a committee chair or a scoutmaster or a cub master or somebody that's been in the program for several years in this position. Um, it's your choice who's here. This is what gets pushed to the public. If you have a website, you can stick it in here. You can see PAC3 does. And then any additional information you want to share about your unit. They meet on Tuesdays, they meet every week, they meet once a month, they do whatever. That's where you're going to put that information. The right side is your preview page. This shows you exactly what a parent is going to see. So again, you can see we had Andrea over here. Here's all our information over on this side, the website. And you're going to see this looks just like the first slide we looked at. All the information. Again, they have a Facebook page, an Instagram page. The more public information you can put that's public facing for this parent to look at your unit, the better chance you're going to land them as a lead. It's going to make your unit look active. It's going to make them feel like there's a lot going on. That's what most parents want. I mean, as a parent, would you want to send your kid to a place that didn't look like it was busy? I mean, that's the way you have to look at it. So there's definitely a sales element to this, and it's kind of the downfall of being on the back end doing stuff like this. But again, really important to put as much information in here, but you control it. You put in what you want to put in. The fields that you can check on the unit pin page, whether you want to show where you meet, PAC3 doesn't. They prefer to discuss that in person or on the phone. They do have the contact person information, phone number, email, unit website, and additional information. You can see those are all the boxes on this side. So what does that look like? Here's the screens we were just looking at. And on the right is the Be a Scout screen that we started with at the beginning of the day with this presentation. You can see everything on the preview page matches what's being pushed on beascout.org when a parent starts to look for you. So that's your side by side. Last screen here. I know this was quick and dirty, and there was a lot of information that I just threw at you very quickly. It's our contact information. So you have both me as the Northern Lights District Commissioner and Lisa Warren as the Southern Shore District Commissioner, our email addresses, and also our district executives. Any of us are here to help you. We can guide you through this. Your unit commissioners should have a good handle on this as well. But if you don't know where to turn, please reach out to us. It is critically important that you understand how to use this information. This information is going to make your life easier once you start to dovetail it into your recruiting efforts. One thing I didn't mention that I would like to, with the unit leads, please try to have somebody check this page at least at a minimum once a week in your heavy recruiting timeframes like August, September, October, multiple times a week. Somebody should be in there making sure that you don't have new leads sitting there. Presently, right now, as of today, we're in the first week of September, first full week of September. We have 38 leads, I think, in the system. Are one of them yours? Only way you're going to find out is to go look. And that's just for Northern Lights. I don't have access down to Southern Shore. I'm sure there's leads down there as well. So please go check those leads, stay on top of it. The other piece of advice, get back to your leads as soon as you can. People have come looking for your program. If you take a month to get back to them, they're not going to be there more than likely. You want to get back to them within 24 to 48 hours. Keep following up. This is a multi-pronged approach. offer them to come into a program meeting, den meeting, troop meeting, uh, various hike activity, whatever it is, so they can get a good vibe. Have them meet the leadership. Um, and again, whoever is in charge of actually reaching out to these people, be it one person or a team, make sure everybody on your team or yourself is very passionate about the program. It'll help to sell the program to the parent and get them in the door. And obviously, the whole goal is to have the scout join your unit. So, with that, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, again, please reach out to any of us. We're here to help you. We want your program and recruiting year to go well. We are always available if you need any resources. The council does have, as far as recruitment materials, lots of materials available. If you reach out to the district executives, they can hook you up with plenty of things, be it paperwork, for classrooms, yard signs, whatever it is you may need, they have for you. So, with that, thanks for joining us, and hope to see you all very soon.